G'day everyone, it's Craig Haley here. Look, we thought we'd do a quick video for everyone to say thank you for everything and all your support over the years. Look, we did a little video for everyone at our wedding, and it was a real hit, and so we thought we'd do another quick video for everyone on the bits and bobs that we've learned over the last 10 years. Maybe what's made it a success for us and our ups and downs and bits and whatever. But yeah, so we've got a bit of a list here, and yes, and Haley's kindly pointed out that while hers is quite good,
not good, mine just has lots of words.
yeah, mine doesn't have quite as much.
So many words.
So maybe because I'm a man of less words, I might let Haley start on what you've got to share
On my long list,
with
because
our amazing audience.
I really like words. So we thought we'd both write a list of 10 things that we've learnt in the last 10 years.
Diamond anniversary.
Diamond anniversary. Yeah, which is pretty exciting, actually. So the first thing that I learnt is that, well, it was sort of a question, is do we believe that every marriage should be for a lifetime? It's an interesting question 10 years in. And no, we don't actually really believe that, because most of our closest friends are actually either single parents, have been married and divorced, or into second marriages, or in beautiful relationships with people that they weren't initially married to, and they're blossoming and they're beautiful and they are so happy, and I think that that's a gorgeous thing. And you know, we are so absolutely blessed to 10 years later still be together, and obviously we would love to think that, you know, we're going to be rocking on a rocking chair on the porch when we're 80 or something together, and hopefully that's the case, because you know, we are truly blessed in that way. But no, funnily enough, doing a video on 10 things we've learned in 10 years of marriage is that we don't believe that all marriages are for a lifetime. We think that love is love, and just to be embraced for what it is.
Yes, and
What's
so
it for your list?
well, my one is how the likelihood of our lists being a little bit different is super high, and because like Haley and I are almost two different people, which is a good thing.
Almost we
That's,
are.
we are two different people. Aries, Taurus, you know how it's meant to be. But yeah, look, my number one is just in the sheer nature of us being totally different. I think that makes us a good match.
And that's really funny, because my number two is that it doesn't have to work on paper, because we are the most mismatched couple on the planet. Funny he said Aries and Taurus, because I mentioned that quite a bit, because as far as all the different star signs go, Taurus and Aries are the least compatible of all combinations, and somehow we managed to make it work. He's the eldest of many siblings, I'm the youngest of siblings, and I don't know how, but we somehow make that work.
Seems to work.
Butt heads a lot. Our personality types, whenever I've done personality profiles or anything like that, they always tell us that we shouldn't be friends.
Complete opposite ends of the scale. That's great.
Couldn't be more different. But I guess, you know, we're not meant to be friends. We're more than that. It's deeper. We're lovers.
Hey,
Yay.
nice.
And I think that works really well. Yeah.
My number two is compromise. So I think, you can't always get it your way, and it's something I learned over time. And I think I'm a much better person because Haley's helped me realise a whole bunch of things, and then through that is the C word, compromise. And that's real key. That's real key. Don't have to always be right, and you don't have to do it my way, and I don't have to always have the answers and all that sort of stuff. And I think, compromise.
Yeah. That's an awesome thing coming from an eldest sibling. It's really cool.
It is.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Aww,
Can I
you're
go
so
now?
clever. No.
Oh, okay.
Number three for me is the 5 love languages. When my girlfriend Jeannie lent me that book, that was a turning point for us. That was actually really huge, because we suddenly were able to understand each other in a very, very different way. And I learnt that my love language is acts of service, and I was sort of explaining to Craig like what this book's all about, and in the end I just went, look, your first acts of active service you could do for me is just to read the book. And so we, again, our love languages are completely different, but it's given us a way of communicating with each other in a way that the other person understands. And I also now know that Craig shows love to me in ways that it doesn't read love to me. I'm like, that's taxes. It's nothing loving in taxes, but Craig's like, but I'm doing this exercise and I'm looking after our family.
Taxes? Really love taxes.
Because you love your taxes
Oh,
and
I
you
love taxes.
you look after us.
Look
That's-
after your receipts, people.
Anyway, so love languages. If you want, and that's not just good for a marital relationship either. We've found that that's helped a lot with the kids
Kids,
too. We've
yep.
been able to really understand the kids a lot better since we read that book, and also other relationships like workplace and extended family and things like that too. So learning the language of each other.
Filling one
was-
another's love tank.
Yeah, and understanding the love tank concept. And we can actually be really vocal about that now. Like Craig, like if we're just having a day where life's hectic and stressed, he can just like, well, both of us, we can just go, my love tank's empty. And either one of us knows, all right, well, it's really simple and easy for me to fill that because I know their love language. So, yeah, 5 love languages, guys. Good book.
Yeah, very good book.
What's your number 3?
Number 3, passion and a good tussle. I love that word, tussle. I love it. Anyway, I don't ever underestimate romance. That's really important. There's passion. There's things you need to be able to share together, and doing what I can in a selfless way for you fills your love tank.
It does. I think also too, particularly after kids come along.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah, absolutely.
they take so much time and attention from you as a couple.
Yep.
So putting a little bit more attention and detail into romance, I think, fills that gap a lot. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that can get in the way. Work,
Yeah.
all the hustle of life, money. I'm sure everyone goes through it as well. So
And romance doesn't have to be about spending lots of money and like that sort of stuff. It can just be in kind and gentle little caring things that are loving.
crack a sneaky bottle of wine and bring some chocolate over and throw on maps or 7-year switch or something like that.
One of our dirty little secrets is that we love watching super awkward TV shows together. If something's on TV and it's just so awkward, I don't know why, but that's one of the few
It's my
things
favourite.
that we just,
It's my favourite.
it's our party time. Number 4, I'm crying because I'm laughing. Number 4 is you can't expect your one person to be everything for you. It took us both a little while at different times in our relationship to kind of come to terms with that. But there are so many different ways that we all experience and express and feel love, and we need them from so many different sources that if you're expecting one person to be everything for you, you're going to lose out, and it's a lot of pressure for that one person, whoever that is at the time, to carry that. That's huge. So yeah, the one person can't be everything. And like Craig, at times, like if I'm having an emotional moment, which as women we need to have, I need to sometimes just cry and talk about what's going on, and at the end of that I'm going to feel better. But Craig's like, well, if she's crying, I need to fix it. And I'm like, so he's worked out that he's just like, ring Megan or ring Jeannie or ring Amber. Like, he's just like, just get someone else in here who can love you in this space, because it's not a skill he has. So there's lots of different ways that, you know, that one person can't be everything, and
Call on those strengths of others if need.
yeah, and
Don't
it's
be afraid.
and it's unfair to have that expectation, because I think also too, when you have that expectation that someone's going to be everything, you're going to be let down, and you're letting yourself down. They're not letting you down. You're letting yourself down.
It's not healthy too. Reach out. There's
No.
other perspectives. There's other ways of seeing things. Other life experiences. Knowledge. Yeah. Get that. I can't believe you had that as your number 4.
That was my
when
number
we
4.
linked these up, mine said here, it's okay for your wife to be stronger than you sometimes. And I mean like not emotional strength, physical strength. Sometimes there are some jars that even I can't crack. Throw them her way. Boom. We're into the peanut butter before you know it.
Peanut butter is plastic lid.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah.
What was I eating the other day?
I have no idea. He can still beat me on chin-ups though.
Can.
Yeah, doesn't matter how hard I train. He can always it's really freaking annoying.
It's a man thing.
Like, I swear, he could just walk into the gym now and do 15 chin-ups, and he's done no exercise.
We're not going to record that, are we?
Yeah.
No, don't.
So no exercise for months. Anyway,
Yes.
that's, yeah. Thank you for letting me be stronger than you.
Oh, I love it.
It feels good.
And it's inspiring for the kids too.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
Our kids do chin-ups for fun.
That's a good thing, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Okay, good. Good.
All right, is that your 4?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, my 5. This kind of followed on for 4 from me, because this has been a big lesson for us, I think, in the last 1 or 2 years, in how we've realised we can sometimes be different to other people, is that don't let jealousy get in your partner's way. Because one of Craig's closest friends is a girl. Whoa! One of my closest friends is a boy. And neither of us have ever had an issue with that. And like Craig will be at work, and if he's having a bad day, he'll ring me. Like if he rings me up, I'm like, "Oh, babe, I'd love to help you. I'd love to be there for you right now, but I can't be. Why don't you give your girlfriend?" I'll call her that because they're more private about their friendship. I call and go and have a coffee with her. Like I'll encourage that relationship, and she and I communicate. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, that he has another feminine energy in his life that he can rely on for emotional support. And equally, you guys all know, because you do see it on Facebook,
That's right.
I've got a really close friend in Dean who is a male.
Eldino.
And he turns out to be like this big boofy footy guy. And Craig actually likes that I have that friendship. And he encourages that too. Like there's been days when I've been driving to Dean's gym just going, "Oh, babe, I just don't think I can face him today. Like, whatever reason, I'm not feeling like it." Like, he's just so over-energized. I'm like, I just don't have it in me. And Craig will be like, "Just go, Hayley. You know you're going to feel better after you see him." And
You always
so, yeah. So, and Dean and Craig's friend, they both know that we have that support there for each other as well. And it's really surprised both of us in the last 18 months, other people's opinions on that. And we both kind of feel that that's a bit sad, that in other relationships people are held back from having other great relationships, because I love when he has an extra feminine energy in his life, and Craig loves that I've got another masculine energy in my life, and that's never going to hold either of us back, because I'm ridiculously attracted to my husband, and I love my husband, and I come home to my husband.
Video, isn't it?
And I know that he feels the same way about me, and jealousy's never been there between us.
No. Trust though. Like,
Trust, there's so much
gotta build on
trust.
trust. In fact, I was looking at my list. I don't think I have trust on my.
Well, maybe we didn't.
list.
Maybe it's because we didn't learn
No,
it.
it's just implied.
Well, we didn't learn it.
Always had that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But that's been my big learning from, and it was just sort of, yeah. I hope other people have that in their relationships.
Yeah.
The trust and just
Opening their circles.
yeah.
All right. My number 5. Your family unit is the center of gravity, and it changes the moment you have kids. So, I guess what I was getting at there is there's a lot of things that you can have in your life, and you can't quite choose your family, but you can choose your friends, that sort of thing. And there are just going to be times you have tough relationships and whatnot. But the most important thing, especially when you have children, is that you, your partner, and your kids become that central nebulous that all things now should just revolve around, and people need to get in with your plans. You need to make your plans. It's about you and your life. You've got to take control, and you shouldn't just sit back and let other people control that for you, and especially, you know, how you feel about yourself, how you should see others, all those sorts of things. They're all imposed on you. These sorts of things as well. Look, it just boils down to you and your kids. It's number one. Yeah, got to look after us, and then you can then bring in others in the fold, take on their wisdom and experience and views and things from there. So, but yeah, that's really important. It does change the moment you have kids. I think it's not just us as a couple, but yeah, it's now us as now a blood bond.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think particularly where work is involved and things like that, it can be really easy to let that central nebulous become off balance and things like that. And that, again, has happened at different points in our marriage. We feel very solid and strong at the moment, which is really lovely, but we also know that there's probably going to come a time in the future where one of us is going to be leaning a little bit further either way, and the other one has to sort of hold that frame and be strong for each other and keep that the sort of the momentum of who we are. And you know, as much as we've welcomed a lot of really beautiful people into our lives in the last 10 years, we've had to let some go. We had to, and they've always been mutual things as well that we've had to do there. But you know, I live the words, be the change you wish to see in the world, and I think we both live that every day in the way that we raise our children and the way that we hold our family together. I don't know where I was going with that, but I love that I love that you have that. Thank you.
Boom.
Boom.
What do you got on yours? What's next?
What are we up to?
Number 6.
6. Oh, well, we're actually doing quite well, babe. This actually follows on from that, and it says, when you want to lean out, lean in. And I suppose I mean that in a love sense, right? Like, because there have been times when one of us has just been at a point where we're like, I don't know if this is for me anymore, or, you know, whatever challenges are coming up. Like, we're not saying that the last 10 years has just been
It's
like,
been a walk and a stroll in the park.
It hasn't been a stroll in the park. We've had some really, really big hurdles to overcome and very heavy emotions. But really what we have learned, and particularly for me in the work I've done on myself in the last couple of years and learning about love, is that in the times when I have felt that Craig has hurt me or has done something that's let me down, or I've felt offended and I've wanted to turn away, I've really learned that, okay, well, there must be something going on for him right now. So instead of turning away, I'll lean in. And that's a really difficult thing to do, because, you know, there's that chance you're going to get rejected or like you know, you're not wanted or something. But I've really learnt that when it comes to nurturing love, if you take a step backwards, then you could be stepping away from someone who really needs you to step in. So if you just make the choice to step in, to lean in, and just to say, look, I'm hurting right now, but there must be a reason why that is, and I think it might be because you're hurting too, so I'm here to hold you, is kind of where we've learnt to be as well. And that's been really huge for me in lots of relationships. But definitely in those times when I feel like I have no love in me to give, I lean in and I give a little bit more, and I think that has been, it does pay off. And I think the biggest thing for me that I've learned in the last 10 years, and it's been a really big personal journey of mine that I've applied a lot of time to, is learning about how to love, and how to do that really well. And I hope I do okay at it.
You do amazing. You do fantastic. You do really well. In fact, I got one here. I don't know who said it, but or even where I found it, or how I heard it. Anyway, I came about it somehow.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So this whole. There's no point in having two people the same, because one person is redundant.
Yeah.
And one person has to bring something or take something for the other person to want to need it, right? So, what I'm getting at here is there are so many things I've changed and had to, because Hayley's changed as well. Do you know what I mean? You've gone one way, I've wanted to go the other way, but in doing so we would have split, or you know, there was some really hard times. So you have to dig deep. You have to think, well, what can I do to be on that person's journey? What can I do to understand what it is they're after? And then we build on that and make the thing that you're on better together.
Absolutely.
We're both the same, I think. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be a partnership then, because maybe you'd be always stepping on one another's feet. Often you'll be over there, I'm over here. You're like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, yeah. No? How about this? Oh, yeah. That sort of thing.
I think also too, in another way that we're very different, is that, you know, we've basically been married from the day we met, which was 14 years ago now. And in that time, I've watched you consistently grow and develop yourself as a person at this like amazing rate. Like it's just continued. And I said from the day that we met, like, he makes me want to be a better person every day. And that's a great reason to be together, is that, you know, he makes me want to be a better person. And sometimes that's because I'm like, far out, he's so much better than me. But then there's other times it's like, how awesome is that? I got someone to chase. So Craig's just like, ever since we met, he's just been on this constant, steady, continual journey of growth and improvement. And it's just been the most amazing thing. Whereas for me, like, unfortunately, with pregnancy and breastfeeding and childbirth, hormones had a huge impact on me and therefore our lives. So I sort of toddled alongside him in his growth for a couple of years, and then childhood happened, or parenthood happened, and Craig kind of lost me for 5 years. And he kind of had to just be the holder of the household for us. So while he continued this steady growth, I just stopped. And I went backwards a long way. And then, don't cry. And then I've done this opposite thing, is that since we've been able to overcome that huge challenge of postnatal depression and the hormones and what that did to me and therefore our family, it's been this like rapid, like I'm taking off, like I've got to catch up, like, and I say that, I'm like, when you hit rock bottom, it's a relief because you got something to push off. So while he's had this steady and continual growth, I've done this like jagged, like bouncing all over the place, like going backwards and now taking off forwards. And
you built a life on it, babe. You've
well,
now got a professional career, helping others do this and get out of this, and inspire others and their kids, and you know, I think that's cool.
It is.
That's cool.
It is cool. But it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you.
Well,
yeah,
we'll work together on that.
But it also wouldn't have happened if we had just been the same and one of us was redundant. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
High five.
Ooh.
Cool. All right, what are we up to? 7.
Yep, 7.
So this is, Craig has a love-hate relationship with this one of mine, but it's don't speak when you're upset. And that's not always easy, but I learnt very early that not to speak when I'm upset, because words can be manipulated and changed so easily that I always want to be really certain on what it is that I've said. So I'm going to be like, yep, I know what I said. And I know what I mean as well, because stupid happens when you speak sensationally, right? Like when you're in the moment and you're angry and you've got your adrenaline's charging and you just want to smash things, you don't actually probably know why you're angry. And so the words that come flying out then can be so hurtful that for poor Craig, and this was really different when we first got together, if we had some fights and things, I just kind of be like, I'm like, shut down.
Shut down. Don't give me anything here. What are you going to say? will it even be today? Or can I expect an answer like tonight if we're possible?
And it drove him up the wall for the first few years, didn't it? Because he'd be like needing to know what was wrong so that he could fix it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what's wrong yet.
See, there's half the problem, right? So,
I'm like, let me just take a minute. But that minute could sometimes be days. So I worked out what it was that had upset me or had triggered an argument or whatever it was. By the time I'd worked it out, I'm usually okay. I kind of come up to him and go, all right, babe. So this is what happened. And we can usually have a conversation around it, and it's really not that big of a deal. But I know that if in the heat of a moment, if we were just ripping into each other, it could have dire consequences, because a ram and a bull knocking heads
in a
together.
China shop with life.
Could have been really interesting. But yeah, that's a big thing. That I don't speak when I'm upset, and it can take days sometimes. It happens quicker now. I'm really good at reading myself in our situations. But Craig's also learnt that skill too. And
it's a balance. Like, you're one end of the scale, I'm the other. I'm keen to say what I thought at the time in the heat of the moment, and just through necessity, we've both sort of found an equilibrium, and it might sort of be off balance every now and then, but I've had to learn that by giving you space means that I need to calm F down as well. So that's something for me to take away, because you're processing something and I'm sitting here going, why haven't I got answers? Well, that's a problem to start with. So it's helped me relax a little bit. Yeah. A little bit more chilled.
Yeah. And now he can appreciate that I go away and be quiet, because he can also sit, like, now he's like, yeah, that would suck if she just flew off in a rage. Like,
off the handle. Yeah, it doesn't ever go down well.
No.
Yeah.
No. Alright, so that was my 7. What are you up to?
So, here's I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but when I was by myself before the days of Haley, I liked
even when we were together,
Oh,
this was a thing.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
Our friends would comment.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Like everybody, anyone who came to the house.
Anyway, I love clean things, right?
OCD, like
Yeah.
crazy.
Like-
OCD.
There's windows that are meant to be clean and that sort of stuff. Anyway, a good cure for that is children, because there is this shit you cannot control. You will find Weet-Bix on the window if you need to, and yeah, I wouldn't worry about clean chrome stuff anymore. And I'm sure there's a shiny floor in there somewhere. Right? But now I just accept the sticky socks and still gotta use my smartphone and have to scratch stuff off the top of it, and it's awesome. But
Our
anyway,
children are beautiful.
they are, and
Yeah.
I don't care about it anymore, because I'm accepting that's just life, and it's cool because I get to own that sticky stuff, because it's our little thingies running around dirtying the world.
Do you remember Ben, who we used to hang out with a lot? Ben Houston. Yeah. I remember, because we had this beautiful circle of friends who, before we had kids, we'd be together almost every weekend playing poker and having dinner parties. And like, if I was cooking up dinner, I'd just ring Ben and Dan and be like, hey guys, I'm doing a roast, do you want to come over? It was a really lovely time in our lives with these guys. And then we had babies, and that sort of, it didn't completely fall apart, but yeah, we couldn't keep up the momentum of it. And I can remember when Sophie was a baby, Ben came over and he's like, you know, every time I come here, your house just feels more homely. And I'm looking around and I'm like, Ben, I think it just gets messier. And he's like, yeah, that's actually it. Your house was always too clean before.
More inviting.
I loved that. And I just looked at Craig and I was like, haha.
Note taken. Sprinkle some more dirt over there.
I miss the Ben and Dan days.
I do too. I miss Ben.
Yeah, I miss them both.
Ben, wherever you are in Denmark, hope you're going well. Is it Denmark? It's Denmark, isn't it? No.
Fail, Craig. It's somewhere on that side of the world.
Damn.
Shit.
Anyway, I'll think of it.
Sorry.
8.
8.
You're number 8.
Oh, we were talking about OCD. Okay. Well, Craig actually said this before. You got to give up on your need to be right. Absolutely. And I think everybody has to learn that, right? Like, sometimes people just argue just because they have the need to be right. And the only time that works is when you're arguing with your kids. Only they're more determined that they're right than you are. But yeah, like I wrote this list a couple of days ago, but yeah, giving up when you need to be right is it came up last Saturday, and I just thought that was really funny. But you do, don't you?
You have to.
Like, man, sometimes you just got to be like, I don't have to be right all the time. And that's actually a beautiful thing, and it's okay. And when you give up on that need to be right, that's when growth happens, because you stop being a know-it-all. Not that either of us, I don't think we were ever know-it-alls, but you become more open to learning and
less competitive.
Yeah, and you actually get to enjoy the other person's strengths as well, because you can kind of like, well, if I don't need to be right in this moment, it gives them the opportunity to be, and that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, so
Growth for everyone.
yeah. What's your number 8?
You can be mutually independent. So, I've always said, Haley and I, we work well as a team when we're sort of working next to one another. Maybe on 2 separate tasks, but that's good.
Not touching.
No,
No.
that's why I've got
Yeah.
space. I'm not on you right now. It's cool. It's cool. But we really struggle doing one thing together, like washing the dishes. I'll forever be under Haley's feet, and
You don't need two people to wash
turns
dishes.
out I'm not invisible. You can't walk through me. It turns out. I don't know how that happens, but if you walk against someone, you'll hit them. That's just how it works. But
Because you're standing in the wrong spot.
all the time, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, it might be that I might be doing one thing, Haley's doing another thing. We're in the vicinity, two separate areas, but together, if you add the two together, there's some progress there for both of us.
All the tasks still get done. You just don't have to be working on the same task at the same time. They still get done. And this is the point of passion between us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you so much.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Hmm.
In a professional world, 1 + 1 = 3 sometimes. It is good to get a bit of help, but at home, don't mix work and pleasure, right?
Alright. You good with that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Alright. 9. So I put down that 9 comes from moments of growth. 9 comes from
Hey.
growth comes from moments of intense pain, and that's very true because for probably the first half of our relationship, I was always too scared to sort of let Craig know if he'd hurt me or let him know if there was something I needed different, or because I was scared of hurting him. And one thing I have had to learn to do is to have those difficult conversations where I'm scared I might actually hurt him, and you know that can happen. I can cause a lot of pain when we have those conversations, but the amount of growth that we both get out of having the conversations that aren't easy ones to have is phenomenal.
Yeah. You're not stewing on things. You get to move
Yeah.
on. It's good.
Yeah,
It's healthy.
so when we're holding back from saying whatever needs to be said because we're scared of hurting the other person or for whatever reason, we're actually limiting their opportunity for growth and absolutely limiting your own opportunity for growth. And that was a really difficult thing for me to learn, and the first time I sort of had to say, hey babe, you know, I think there's something that needs to change for us. Oh man, I was terrified. But it went really well. And he was great. And we both grew. And our marriage flourished. And it was awesome. And it's never an easy thing to do. Like, you feel sick in the pit of your stomach when you have to have a conversation that's not easy. But the growth from that is awesome. And I love watching his growth and getting to experience mine.
Are you watching yours?
Yeah. That's my 9 done.
Well, my 9's actually inspiring each other to be better people every day. There we go. There's
we
more
go.
to it. I think we covered it off. We're like, there's almost slingshots there. Do you know what I mean? It's like a rock climber. You got to use one arm to get the other arm up, and you're just pulling on one another to get to the next stage. And
It's kind of like rock and roll dancing.
yeah, there
It
you go.
is. Before we had kids, Craig and I used to dance like swing, jive, Lindy. We loved it. We danced 3 or 4 nights a week. It was a great way to stay fit because it was just so much fun. We really enjoyed it right up until I fell pregnant. But it's kind of like that because you're together and then you get spun out and then you got to come back in and then one spins out that way and then you got to come back in and you are just sort of slinging off each other and going in, but you're always coming back together.
Yep. Always back to the start.
There you go. That's a whole new.
Starting position.
Yeah. Can't wait to get back to dancing.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Mum life.
Mum life.
No dancing for a while.
We'll get there.
We'll get back there.
Yeah, kids are getting older.
We get in there, yeah. And my number 10. It's not all about events. And it's certainly not all about moments like this. Like, I think the beauty in a loving and caring and working relationship, whether that be a marriage or, you know, siblings or workplaces or anything like that, is that it's about being there for each other in the day-to-day, in the mundane, and appreciating the fact that you have a mundane and that you have a day-to-day and that you have you know, this is our everyday life. Flicking sticky stuff off your phone.
Yeah.
And I think that there's more beauty in that than there is in the big events in your life. And yes, you can absolutely take the time to celebrate your big events. Like, we are really celebrating our 10-year anniversary. We celebrate our anniversary every year. and that's something that we're giving our girls as well. That it's not about those moments. It's about all the little moments that hold the big events together.
That enable it.
Well, yeah.
If you don't cherish the little ones, you'll never get to the big one, I guess.
No. Oh, and I wrote here, it's about being consistently flexible and loving the day to day, is what I said. And it's not about momentary intensity. So, yeah.
Well, that flexibility is probably a good segue into mine, and that's change is inevitable. The biggest, I put a lot of success down to where we are, is because one person's changed, and unless the other can change as well, that's when you'll start to split and go your own ways. And you have to be placing yourself in the other shoes. You have to have that empathetic view. You have to be thinking, well, what is it that's driving them? What can I do to help them? That sort of thing. So I've changed a lot, and I can honestly say that. And I can honestly say that a lot of change that I've undergone is because of how Hayley's needed me to change as well. And there's been lots of different things that have occurred in our life that if I had have just been staunch and put my blinkers on and kept on going, I would have missed some big moments in our lives as well. So change is inevitable, it has to happen, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things I can offer to people, is just be open to change. Have to.
Well, it's a constant, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
It's never going to not be happening. It's all the time. Yeah. Be open to it, embrace it, enjoy it, go for it. I love it. I love change.
It's hard work for some. I'll put it that way. I'm up for it, but sometimes you need fast-paced change. That even just the littlest bit of change really throws some people off. So, I think we're very lucky there in that case. We are both open for change. Well, anyway, that's our 10. I don't know if you got much out of that. I hope you're still here. I don't know how long this is going for.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to watch it to the end.
Yeah.
But it'll be a fun thing for us to reflect on in 10 years' time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what I love about video.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder if Facebook will be around in 10 years' time. Maybe we should have done this Facebook Live.
Oh, no.
You would have been sitting here for the first hour while I was trying to work out what to say at the very start.
That and Facebook Live, it always drops out. There's no sound. It's a pain.
Yeah.
I've given up on Facebook Live.
Well, we haven't given up on you.
No.
So stay tuned for another 10 years.
But anyway, what actually I would love to say, if we're finishing up, we're going to do like little cliche things, is that I do honestly hope that for everyone who does watch this, and even for the people who don't, but everybody that we come into contact with in our lives, and the lives that we can impact, and then therefore they go on to impact, is that people embrace happiness in their own life, and get to experience love in its fullest form, whether that just be self-love, which I think is the most beautiful kind of love, or whether you find a short, intense relationship that's just a beautiful love, or whether you find someone that you get to spend who knows how many years with, but whatever it is for each individual, I hope that you get to find and you get to experience what's the word? Unquestionable love.
That's deep.
Oh, thank you. I like to go deep.
You do. Crazy. Well, I hope you have a great night, everyone. Thanks for listening.
We love you.
We do. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.